She was a daughter, a sister, a beauty, a nurse who had her whole life ahead of her. But her life was tragically cut short in one of the most brutal and horrific murders in Australian history. Hello everyone, my name is Anita, and in this video we're going to take a look into what happened on this night in the year 1986. The abduction and murder of Anita Cobby. On the night of the 2nd of February 1986, 26-year-old Anita Cobby arrived at Blacktown railway station in New South Wales, Australia. Anita was a former beauty queen who worked as a nurse at Sydney Hospital. At the time, she was living with her parents in Blacktown, having separated from her husband John Cobby, but they were reportedly on good terms and planning to reconcile. On this day, Anita worked a shift at Sydney Hospital and had dinner with friends before travelling to Blacktown by train. Normally, upon arriving at Blacktown station, Anita would contact her father using the station's telephone for a lift home. But on this night, she decided to walk home after finding the phone to be out of order and no taxis available. This proved to be a fatal decision that would ultimately cost her her life. As Anita made her way home, she was walking down Newton Road when 5 men travelling in a stolen Holden car pulled up beside Anita, grabbed her and dragged her screaming into the car. A teenage boy and his mother living close to the area witnessed the abduction and immediately contacted authorities. The 5 men drove Anita to a secluded paddock. I'm not going to go into details into what happened next because honestly it's just... there are no words. All I can say is that Anita was subjected to a horrific assault by all 5 men. She was assaulted both physically and sexually, and all the while she pleaded for her life. After a vicious assault, it was decided that to prevent her from reporting the attack to authorities, they needed to kill her. So using a knife, they slit Anita's throat. Her throat was slit so severely, she was almost decapitated. After failing to report to work the following morning, Anita was reported missing and an investigation was launched. Her brutalized and lifeless body was found the following day. Anita was attacked so severely she could only be identified by her wedding ring. That's how horrendous the attack was. To say that the Australian public were horrified at the news of Anita's murder is an understatement. The public were absolutely horrified and angered that something like this could happen. A local radio station deliberately leaked Anita's autopsy to the public, believing that the public deserved to know what had happened to her. An investigation was immediately launched, and the Australian police force put out a reward of $50,000 for any news on finding Anita's killers. On the 9th of February, police stage a reconstruction of Anita's movements on the night of her murder. An investigation into the stolen Holden vehicle led police to 5 specific men. They were identified as John Travers, Michael Murdoch, and brothers Les, Michael, and Gary Murphy. All 5 men were aged between 18 and 30, and all were known to have had previous arrests and a history of violence, knife usage, and alcoholism. John Travers was held in remand with his connection to the stolen vehicle. His girlfriend, whose name was never revealed, agreed to assist police with the investigation. Using a wire, she recorded a conversation with Travers, and he confessed that he and the 4 other men were responsible for the murder of Anita Cobby. All 5 men were arrested and charged with murder. In total, 22 days had elapsed from the discovery of her body to the arrests. All 5 men were sent to trial in 1987. In a trial that lasted 54 days, all 5 were found guilty of murder and sexual assault. They were sentenced to life imprisonment with no possibility of parole, meaning that they will remain incarcerated for the rest of their lives. As of 2026, 4 of the men remain in custody, with Michael Murphy having died in 2019. The murder of Anita Cobby remains one of the most horrific and tragic events in Australian history. A memorial park exists in Blacktown, near the area where she was murdered. Anita's parents helped establish the National Violence Support Group in Australia, offering further assistance to families of victims who were subjected to murders as horrific as their daughters. The murder of Anita Cobby remains one of the most horrific and senseless murders in Australian history. She was a daughter, a sister, a beauty, a nurse who had her whole life ahead of her. But her life was tragically cut short in one of the most horrific murders in Australian history. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. My name is Anya, and we just looked at what happened on this day.